Hi everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. Today I wanted to talk about a really important and very useful topic, and that is the use of herbal medicine in the postpartum period, especially in the early postpartum period. So we get pretty depleted from the birthing process. Naturally, we lose a lot of blood, we use a lot of energy, and there are things that we can do from a traditional medicine standpoint to kind of revive us really quickly. So I'll walk you through some of my favorite formulas for the postpartum period and how they're used. So first formula is called Shenghuatam. And this can be used actually not only in the postpartum period, but if one was to have a pregnancy loss or miscarriage, anytime that the uterus needs to be cleared. So it increases circulation, it discharges any stagnant blood flow, it helps with cramps and discomfort also. So in the postpartum period, we get those awful cramps after having a baby that help the uterus shrink back and help to prevent excess bleeding. And so these are helpful for that. And also there are herbs like processed ginger and just natural substances that if they go through the breast milk to your baby, they're not harmful. So know that you can be taking these and they're not going to be an issue for the baby. So Shenghuatam is the first formula. Helps with cramps, helps with the afterbirth process, and it's only taken for like a few days. And that's the same goes for if one was taking it if they had a pregnancy loss. Next formula is called Suwutang, and Suwutang is a blood nourishing formula. So it's really for all of the blood loss that occurs during either a birth or if there was a loss or even a D&C. So that's something to consider, is that this herbal formula can be taken for fairly long term if you need to replenish after blood loss. So it's also good for women who say have heavy periods or are anemic. So again, Suwutang. Next one is one that I love to help the organs kind of go back into their place and to get strength again. So if you are sort of peeing yourself pretty easily, or you feel like the uterus isn't shrinking back very well, if you have really low energy, if you've had hemorrhoids appearing, it's just like low energy in the body. And this formula called Pujongichitang is very good for that. So you would want to be taking this formula for, at least a week or two, but you can take this pretty long term too. It'll also guard your immune system. It will help with hypoglycemia or hyperglycemia, with anxiety. So this is a really great formula just for kind of lifting, to help with hemorrhoids, to help with energy, to help with the uterus going back to normal, to help with your belly shrinking back to normal. So that's a really good one to have in your arsenal. Next up, this one is called Chaihu Shugansan, and this one treats liver pathologies. In Chinese medicine, liver pathologies are what is related to the emotions. So this formula was found in studies to be incredibly helpful for postpartum depression. Usually, clinically, we see it used a lot for things like kind of stomach pain, especially if it's emotionally related, but it can also be used for bad menstrual periods, especially if they're emotionally related, and for postpartum depression. So it was shown in like a fairly significant study to be really helpful for that. And so that can be taken for an extended period of time. There it is. Okay, last but not least, if you're kind of just generally depleted, or, if you have had a baby or had a loss and then aren't able to get pregnant again, if you're feeling kind of low energy, this next formula is a magic one, okay? It's called 8 Treasures formula. Bajantang. And this one is great for restoring energy. It's good for fertility. It's good for just overall strength of the body, nourishing the blood after blood loss, nourishing the energy if it's low. So this is a really great one to have on hand just as a general kind of boost, but also as a fertility boost if you're trying to get pregnant again after a birth or after a loss. So here it is. Hope this was helpful, and I'll be coming at you with more herbal medicine gems in the coming episodes.